بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا مولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. Hadith number 10. Hadith is narrated by Abu Hurairah radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Have you already spoke about Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu, isn't it? Last week. He said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم said, إن الله طيب لا يقبل إلا طيبا. It means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is pure. He is pure. لا يقبل إلا طيبا. And He doesn't accept anything which is not pure. Isn't it? What does it mean? What does Allah is pure mean? He is pure. What does it mean? It means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is free of all defects. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He doesn't make any mistakes. Okay? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He doesn't make any error. Everything He does is perfect. So no one can find a mistake or fault in Allah's ability. Allah is free from all faults and defects. This is called being pure. And this attributes only belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't, because except Allah, everyone can make mistake. Everyone can make mistake. Everyone can have some kind of defects or fault in their ability. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one who is free of faults and defects. Like that's why we say subhanallah, we glorify Allah, isn't it? By saying subhanallah, how pure Allah is, isn't it? لا يقبل إلا طيبا. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does not accept anything which is except the thing is pure. What does it mean? i.e., your action has to be pure, then Allah will accept it. For example, what does it mean by the action has to be pure? It means, for example, if you do anything, that has to be only for the sake of Allah. i.e., if you have riya or showing off in your action, even for a little bit, Allah will not accept it. Allah will not accept it. Remember in book 2, in Islamic studies, book 1 or book 2, I forgot, we had a story about Prophet Adam's two sons. They had a fight, and then one of them killed the other one. And before that, they wanted to marry one of their sister. You might say, how is he allowed to marry a sister? During the time of Adam, there's only two human beings, isn't it? Adam and Hawa. So when the first children were born in the family of Adam alayhi salam, it was like this. So in the first children will be one boy and one girl. One boy and one girl. And then second time, when Allah will give them children again, then there will be again one boy and one girl. The rule was that the boy from the first children will marry the girl from the second children, and the boy from the second children will marry the girl from the first, because there was no children, there's no enough There are not enough children, isn't it? There are only few human beings. So that was the rule. Obviously, then later on it was, what is it called? Abrogated. Now no one can marry their sister. It's haram, isn't it? So then what happened? One of the boy of Adam alayhi salam, he said no. He want to marry the sister, the girl who was born with him, because she was more beautiful. And then what happened? Adam alayhi salam said no, you can't, because this is against the Sharia. But anyway, he wasn't listening. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, okay, give the charity, and then if Allah accepts your charity, then you can marry the daughter you want to marry. So, and both of them have to give the charity, isn't it? So when they gave charity, the first boy, I think, who killed who? Habil killed Qabil, or Qabil killed Habil? Do you remember? I can't remember. I'm always confused with this name. But anyway, so one of the boy, he gave charity, and he gave the best things in the charity, because it says in the narration that he was somebody who used to look after the cattle, like the cows and stuff. So he had cows and other things, animals. So he gave the best animal in charity. And the second boy, he was a farmer, but what did he do? He was a stingy person. So what he did, he didn't give the best thing, the best crops in the charity. He gave only the one which is damaged or useless in charity. And back in the days, the charity was like this. You put the charity on a mountain, on a hill, and then a thunderbolt will come from the sky and will burn the charity. And if your charity is burnt, that means it's accepted by Allah. And then what happened? The one who gave the best animal in the charity, his charity was accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because the thunderbolt came and burnt his charity. Do you understand? Why? Because he gave the best, the pure thing in the path of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah likes the pure thing. So when you give charity, it has to be, try your best to give the best things in charity. Not the useless, the pennies you have, lying on your floor or under the pillow, which is good. If you give, you're gonna get reward, but you should sometimes give, like, good amount of money in the in the charity. Some people, they always give old clothes in charity. Sometimes you should give new clothes as well. Buy new clothes and give in charity. If people, lower people, they dream to have like new clothes, but they can't afford it. If you buy new clothes, or if you give money to someone to buy new clothes, then they will be happy, isn't it? Because there's a ayat in the Quran, unless in Mr. Hafiz Muhammad Shah Sahab, what's the first line of Juz 4? Let's try your hips, the ability of your hips. Juz 4, the first line in Juz 4. It talks about the charity. Come on. Allah said, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِمَّا تُحِبُّونَ. You can't reach the piety unless you spend from something you like. Something you? A lot of the time we give things in charity which we don't need, we don't like anymore. But Allah said you can't reach the piety. You can't be a pious person unless you give charity from something you like. Sometimes you like some things, then you should give in charity, to show that you love Allah more than that thing you have, isn't it? So when we do any action, or when we give charity, we should always try our best to give the best one, and to do the action in the best of form. This is what it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He does not accept anything except the thing is a pure thing. Okay. And then Prophet said, وَإِنَّ اللَّهَ أَمَرَ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ بِمَا أَمَرَ بِهِ الْمُرْسَلِينَ فقال تعالى يا أيها الرسل كلوا من الطيبات وَاعْمَلُوا صَالِحًا. The Prophet said, indeed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He commanded the Muslims by which He commanded the Mursaleen, the prophets. What does it mean? Allah said in the Quran, Ya ayyuhar rusulu, O prophets. O, Allah is telling the prophets, O prophets, kulu minat tayyibat, eat from the pure things. Eat from the pure things. And wa'malu salihah. Wa'malu salihah. Eat from the pure things, and also He said to them, and do righteous actions. That command was for the prophets or for the Muslims? Prophets, because at the beginning of the verse He said, Ya ayyuhar rusulu kulu minat tayyibati wa'malu salihah. But in the next verse, Allah is saying the same thing. Allah is commanding the Muslims with the same command. What is it? وَقَالَ تَعَالَى, and another verse Allah said, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, O who you believe, كُلُوا مِنْ طَيِّبَاتِ مَا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ, eat from the pure things, مَا رَزَقْنَاكُمْ, eat from the things we have provided you, but that thing has to be pure. Okay? So let's just break down the verse, inshallah, with the law of the wisdom is hiding behind the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said to the messengers and the Muslims to eat from the pure things. Now, what is pure? First of all, that thing has to be halal. In order to the food to be pure, it has to be halal. Now, halal, what does halal mean? Obviously, there is a linguistic meaning of halal. We understand halal means something Allah has made legal for us to eat. Like, for example, if we eat the lamb, mutton biryani, lamb curry, and what else? Lamb kebab, isn't it? Chicken, halal, chicken. HMC, halal monitoring committee or community, I forgot, committee probably. So the thing has to be halal. The reason why it's halal, because it's good for our health. Simple answer. Allah made it halal because it's good for our health. Things that is haram, Allah made it haram because it's not good for our health. Example, eating pork, okay, pig meat is haram. Why? Because everyone knows the pig is a dirty animal. Because it eats the rubbish. Do you understand? Yes, Yusuf, what's your question? Yeah, obviously we don't want to mention this in on the camera, but everyone knows, like, they eat like dirty things. So obviously, then if you eat the pig, then what happens? Then you're kind of like, because whatever they eat, it turns into blood and flesh. So if you eat the pig meat, then you're eating the rubbish as well. So it's not good for your health. Okay. So it's just an example. Or for example, wine. Drinking wine is haram. Why? Because it's not good for your health. It's not good for your health. So everything that is good for our health, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made it halal. It's the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is a mercy of Allah. Now, if you don't if you don't follow the instruction of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then what will happen? You will end up eating snake, mouse. There's some people, they eat snake, mouse, you know that. Rat barbecue. You understand? Why? Because they don't believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you don't believe in Allah, then you deprive yourself from eating good things. Eating this like delicious mutton biryani and good food. So the first condition is it has to be halal. Second, Allah is saying in another verse, Allah said halalan tayyiba. Allah said halalan tayyiba. What does it mean? Halal, obviously, we know what halal is. Now, there are some halal food which is halal but it's not good for our health, isn't it? Example? What's the example? Chocolate, yeah. Eating too much chocolate is not good for your health. Or for example, eating too many burgers. Going to KFC every day, eating burgers every day. It's not good for your health. Even though it's halal, but it's not tayyiba. It's not good for your health. Or going to kebab shop, eat 17 kebabish, and then eating kebab every day. Or going to flame nuts every day, and eating peri-peri chicken. I can see the smile on your face, mashallah. As soon as I mentioned peri-peri chicken, then your brain started releasing dopamine. They are halal, but it's not good for your health, because if you eat them every day, then what happens? It makes you fat, makes you lazy. You mess up your your digestion. What's it called? Digestive system. So now we should eat halal food and also healthy food. Healthy food means, like, for example, give me some example of healthy food. Cucumber is healthy, yeah. Vegetable, fruits. Sometimes dal is healthy as well. Dal is healthy. There's less spice in it, because a lot of time people, even though food is healthy, but people put too much oil and spice, and that makes it unhealthy, isn't it? So the food has to be halal and also has to be healthy as well. Okay. And look at the verse. He said, Ya ayyuha rusulu kulu minat tayyibati. Eat from the pure things. Wa'malu salihah, and then good, and do righteous deeds. So there is a connection, there is a connectivity between halal food and healthy food and good actions. If you eat halal food, one of the effect which will help you to do good deeds, because halal food will give you the nur, encouragement to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the bad effect of haram food is you don't feel like worshiping Allah. You don't feel like praying salah. You don't feel like giving charity. You know why? Because the food is haram. This is why the verse is saying, eat from the good things and do righteous deeds. It means there is a connection between eating halal and healthy food and praying salah and giving charity and fasting and reading Quran. Because halal food will encourage you to do good deeds. You understand the point? Okay. Then Prophet he mentioned a small example. ثم ذكر, then Prophet said, ثم ذكر الرجل, then he mentioned a person. يطيل السفر. He was in a long journey. He was in a long journey. A person in a long journey. Now, why did he mention the person who is in journey? Remember, when you are in journey, then your dua is accepted. Your dua is accepted. There's a hadith about this. If you are in traveling means what? You have to travel more than 48 months. Traveling doesn't mean from Old Homs if you go to Leighton, you're traveling. No. You have to go at least 48 months. So the person was in a long journey, and ash'atha means his hair was messy, and aghbara, and he was dusty. He traveled so far that his hair is messy and his body is dusty. It means he's in a very bad condition, and it looks like he's very helpless. And when you feel helpless, then your dua is accepted. Yamuddu yadayhi ila sama, and he stretched his hand out towards the sky, and he's saying, Ya Rabbi, oh my Lord, because he is in distress. He needs help, and he's asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help him. And the Prophet said, وَمَطْعَمُهُ haram. The food he ate is haram. وَمَشْرَبُهُ haram. And his drink is haram. وَمَلْبَسُهُ haram. And his clothes is what? Haram. وَغُذِّيَ بِالْحَرَامِ. He was fed with haram. فَأَنَّ يُسْتَجَابُ لَهُ. Then how can his dua will be answered? Rawahu Muslim. It's a hadith from Sahih Muslim. What does it mean? Look at the situation of the person. He's traveling. His dua is supposed to be accepted because he's traveling. Also, he's in distress. His body is dusty, his hair is messy, and he raised his hand. He raised his hands towards the sky and he said, Ya Rabbi, Ya Rabbi, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. I mean, need. But Prophet said his dua is not answered because his food is haram. If you eat haram food, then your dua is not accepted. Your dua is not answered. Even your namaz, your salah is not accepted. If the food is haram. And then mashrabu haram. When the drink he drank is haram as well. What does it mean? Probably he drank alcohol. Never know. How does a drink, even the water sometimes becomes haram? How? Who can give me an example? No. Even if it's dirty, it's not haram. Now that's impure. Okay. Haram. For example, someone is drinking water and some water is left over in the bottle and he's your friend. He's here. And he thought he's my friend. He's your brother. He thought he's my brother, so I can drink. I don't have to ask him. You drank without permission. It's as if you stole his water. So the water is haram. Even if he's your friend, or for example, your friend, he's very close to you, and you always go in his bag, and sometimes you see sweets in the bag. Halal sweets from halal shop, HMC approved halal sweets, but it belongs to your friend, and it's in his bag, and you thought he went to the toilet to make wudu, and you thought, "Chalo, let me sneak in." You opened the chain, and then you saw some halal sweet in there. And what did you do? You took one and you said, "But my friends, it's fine." Even if he knows it, he's not going to say anything. And you, mashallah, you're filling up your stomach with it, thinking he's your friend, it's fine. Actually, it's haram. Why is it haram? You stole, you didn't ask him. Doesn't matter if he's your close friend or your brother. You can't have someone else's chocolates and sweets and drink without asking them. You understand? Always remember this. But don't do this. When you go to school, madrasa, doesn't matter how close he is to you, but don't have the sweets and chocolates and food or anything without asking them. وَمَلْبَسُهُ haram. Now his clothes are haram. How does clothes become haram? Either he stole it or good, very good. It could be made from a haram animal's skin, like pig skin and stuff. And any other way a cloth can be haram? Yeah, it's true. There's some haram clothes, isn't it? Like, doesn't cover up your aura properly. Anything else? Or probably the money he used to buy it, he earned a haram way, isn't it? If your earning is haram, then everything turns into haram. Because you're going to buy things with the haram money, isn't it? So if you buy things with the haram money, then everything is haram. Do you understand? So everything, the man, his food, his drink, his clothing, and the food he ate, everything is haram. This is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not answering his dua. So this is why it's very important. And as a Muslim, we must eat halal food in order to be accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is pure and He loves pure things. Do you understand? This is why if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves someone, Yusuf, are you listening? MashaAllah. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves someone, and then what does He do? Sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He gives him trial. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests him with sickness, with illness, or with perishani, with stress, with problem. Why? Because Allah wants to make him pure. Because on the day of judgment, when you go to Allah and you stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah wants to see you free of sin. You are completely pure. Do you understand? And then imagine, like, subhanallah, when you go, like, I'll give you an example. For example, you're going to see the prime minister, or you're going to see the king. How would you go? You're gonna go to him like how you come to me, wearing whichever clothes is there, just put it on. And you come without washing your face sometime in the morning. I can see it there on your face. Some of you don't even brush your teeth when you come to study to learn knowledge, isn't it? I'm sure if you go to see the king, you're not going to go the same way, isn't it? Why? Because you know that the king is a smart guy. He's smarter than Ustadji. He's got more respect than Ustadji. And he's famous, more famous than Ustadji. Ustad doesn't even have enough followers on TikTok and YouTube. But the king, the whole world know him, isn't it? So I have to go wearing suit and nice tie, and I have to make sure I brush my teeth 5 times before I go to him. Why? Because you think the king is a nice person, clean person, isn't it? That's what you think. So imagine you're going to see the king of the king, the king of the kings. Who is the king of the kings? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How pure Allah is. Just think, just imagine. So how are you going to go in front of Allah, who knows inside out of you, who knows what inside you, isn't it? So you have to be pure, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He loves you, then He's going to make you pure. You understand? So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq. Let's inshallah try our best. Not try our best. We have to eat halal thing, halal food, and we have to make sure that we earn halal, income as well. And then inshallah you'll see the effect you have in your worship. How you feel close to Allah when you worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanaka Allahumma bihamdika, wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, wa nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.